Goddamn, my boy's tweaking. Nintendo aficionados already know this game. It's Luigi's Mansion, released as a launch title for the GameCube in 2001. As the name suggests, you play as Luigi, who is trying to save his red plumber brother Mario, who has been captured in a mansion that Luigi apparently won in a contest. All the while sucking up ghosts and booze to hopefully make this mansion worth living in and making some mad stacks along the way. Immediately, you are introduced to Professor E. Gadd, who will provide you with a Poltergust 3000, or just simply the vacuum on your back that lets you suck up all the ghosts. Later on, you will receive power-ups that allow you to spray or shoot out water, fire, and ice, which will be used to capture ghosts and solve various puzzles that are throughout the game. Which the main way you progress through this game is solving little puzzles. In order to capture the ghosts that matter, usually the ones that have some modeling work done on them, a little puzzle is required to get the chance to battle them and suck them up. After that, you are usually awarded with a key that opens a door somewhere in the mansion. Most, if not all, the puzzles I have found to be pretty straightforward and easy. There was only a few times where I got stuck and had to look it up on my phone. One was to get back from being locked in a room, you had to use the Game Boy Horror and scan a mirror to get back on track. A feature I was not aware of, but it may have been told to me in the game's tutorial before and it just simply went over my head. Other than to go back to the starting place of the game, the Game Boy Horror is also used as a map of the mansion and shows you the various floors of the place and more importantly shows where each key needs to go after you get one. It would have been a massive pain in the ass to go door to door. As for how it controls, I found that moving Luigi is good enough, so I got no complaints there. This was Nintendo's first game with dual analog sticks after all. The biggest problem I encountered was the perspective of the game. When trying to aim the flashlight or poltergust to where I wanted it to shoot, it would sometimes be just too far off of where the target actually is. This was especially frustrating in the later stages of the game. When a door is locked or about to be opened with a key, a nice cool animation plays of Luigi delicately unlocking and opening the door. Something I'm sure was used as a stopgap for the game to load the room and also a graphical showpiece of what the new console can do. Which, due to this being a launch title and honestly the only notable one, the game really does feel like a stretched out tech demo of sorts. With everything being dark and dreary, Nintendo probably wanted to show off the lighting capabilities of their new machine and how much of a graphical improvement the GameCube was over their Nintendo 64. In which, yes, this is leaps and bounds better than any first-party N64 game in terms of graphical and sound capability. Which the game does support Dolby Pro Logic 2 surround sound, a new feature for the console. Although, due to nothing really happening behind you, I did not notice much of a difference when compared to just normal stereo. The sound is crystal clear due to the game being played on a mini DVD when, compared to a cartridge. Which was a first for Nintendo, and although the music that is played in the dark hallways is just a couple of notes on a cello, it is nonetheless iconic. If you have the launch model GameCube and video cables that support it, the game can also display in 480p, which it being properly upscaled through my Morph 4K, the game just looks fantastic for a 2001 release, and shows the console can stand toe-to-toe with Microsoft's powerful Xbox that released just 3 days before the GameCube. So suck it, Master Chief, you can take your direct Xbox and shove it. With the Mario series combined with a haunted house, it would have been a massive letdown if the series' staple character, Boo, or the Circle Ghosts as I call them, were not included in the game. Of course, Luigi sets 50 of them free and you have to again capture them, which you need 45 to finish the game. Once the Boos are released, each room in the game contains one and can only be discovered when a room is cleared. Using the Game Boy Horror, you can then easily track one that is in that room and proceed to suck them up. I found that finding them immediately after clearing a room is the best option since you don't have to backtrack all throughout the mansion. Are the Boos just simple collectibles for the game? Sure, but Boos are probably one of my, if not my favorite enemy type in the Mario series. So to see their inclusion here is not only a no-brainer considering the setting, but one that I'm really happy to see. Other than Boos, you are also collecting money, gold bars, and diamonds, which are all tallied up after each chapter and directly correspond to the score you're given after you complete the game. The more money you collect, the bigger mansion Luigi will receive. It's pretty weird to think that Luigi is absolutely loaded at the end of the game while his brother Mario is still climbing through pipes. Financial jokes aside, you'll want to collect everything you see because the game is very short. In fact, you are meant to play through the game a number of times to try and get the most money to get the bigger post-credit mansions. After your first playthrough, you can go visit the Hidden Mansion, which is basically New Game Plus that has tougher enemies, some boss fights will be slightly different, and the chance to earn more money for a better endgame score. In which my first playthrough I got a C rank. A nice bachelor pad for Luigi. Maybe he can finally get the courage to call up that fine Daisy. To me, for the launch of the GameCube, this was pretty much the game to own on the system until Pikmin came out a month later. It not only showed what Nintendo's first disc-based console could do, but it also is a neat experience that was unlike any other and set the stage for this game to become a cult classic with so far 2 direct sequels a decade later. So, if you still have a GameCube or are thinking of picking one up, I would say pick up Luigi's Mansion with it. Because to me, the game really captures what the GameCube would play like that entire console generation. While Sony and Xbox were battling it out for the top spot, Nintendo started to veer away from having the most powerful machine and started to focus on doing stuff completely different compared to their counterparts. And as a side note, it is also a showcase of modern GameCube game pricing, as this game goes for over $60 complete in box. So if you're thinking of collecting for the GameCube with no ODE disc drive replacement, just get ready to pay the price. Luckily, the first-party GameCube games are usually pretty good, so you got that at least.